Someone got inside.
One of the cleaners. Find them.
Okay, Joey, get a grip. Your brother needs you.
So my first question for you is, Joey listens to a lot of music when she's up there cleaning. Were there any songs that kind of helped you get into her mind space?
It's so awful. I am a bit jet lagged. I now can't remember the band name on her t-shirt, but the band name on her t-shirt, I listened to them a lot to get that rocky feeling. And then this was actually, I've talked about this before, but this was also one of those films because I would often wake up super tired physically and emotionally. This was quite taxing. So Shawn Mendes, ding, 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 is my morning song to get up and get to the day. But yes, otherwise more rocky, sort of English rock bands is what I felt that Joey was very into.
I love that. Is music something you typically incorporate into characters when you're building them and kind of crafting them, or is it specifically for her?
It's not, and I feel like it should be, because when I hear other actors talk about it, I think, wow, that sounds so wonderful. But oftentimes I feel, no, maybe it's something I really appreciate other people doing it. I think I love to do all my preparation first, and then I like to just come to set as feeling great as possible, and in whatever form that is. So I think emotionally, if I'm feeling good, and usually it's a bit of a pep in the morning, but also that's why hair and makeup, the time to get hair and makeup done is so important aside from anything else, because you're really setting the tone for the day. And often it will just be, so often for me, it isn't character related, it's mood related.
I love that. Something I really like about this movie is the relationship between Joey and her brother. And I feel like there's a lot of people in our age group that are starting to experience that, where they become a caretaker for a sibling. Yeah. And I'm curious for you, what do you hope that audiences take away from that dynamic? Because it was such the heart and soul of this movie.
It was interesting because I've spoken to a few people who have that particular dynamic too, someone who is neurodivergent and someone who is neurotypical. And I did really want to honor that between siblings. And of course, Joey and Michael had a really difficult upbringing. But Joey is able to live an independent life, and she's able to go and do her traveling and do whatever she wants to do. And Michael just doesn't have that capability. So I remember it feeling really painful because I loved working with him so much, but the relationship is really complicated and she is very flawed. And she talks about the fact that she's flawed and is trying to make it up to him. But I do remember the scene where I'm hammering, trying to get in and talking about the history of our relationship. I had to leave set and go to the toilet. I was crying so much because I thought, these poor kids. And then she really, she's 30, but the caretaker position, but then of course she doesn't know what it's like to be Michael, and how complicated that is. And yeah, to your point, I feel like it's becoming more of a conversation, certainly in people I know now. And there's so much nuance to it, but so much love and so much hope. And all Joey can do when everything starts going wrong is just try her best to do it. And what becomes very clear is nothing is more important than her brother. And she has been putting off that for so long that it's not a great time for it to happen, that she realizes that. But of course, that is her full emotional drive, is making sure that he is okay, regardless of what happens to her.
And I'm sure I'm not the only person that's going to try to sneak in a Star Wars question today, but I do want to try to do it differently.
Okay.
Once the script and everything is, finally finalized, do you see yourself taking on a larger role at all with the film? Because I know you've been producing. I know you've been more of a creative role in a lot of the works that you've been doing.
I don't know. I don't know that I'd be a producer on it. But certainly I have been very involved, yeah. I'm involved in not very involved, but I'm involved in as much as I know what's going on. I know the story. I know what's going on with the script. So I'm aware of all of that. And I think what's been really wonderful over the last few years is being more involved from the start to the finish, is really coming to set knowing this is the absolute best way we can tell this story. These are the best actors for the job. This is the best crew for the job. Having that confidence is so lovely. And it's not that I didn't have that before, but I'm much more cognizant of it now. So in that way, I'm looking forward to turning up, really knowing the ins and outs and what the journey has been. And we're arriving at the absolute best place to tell this particular story.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Daisy. Cleaners.
Thank you.
And I hope tonight with the screening for Collider goes really well.
Thank you so much.